Okay, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the City of Alpharetta's Design Review Board Workshop Session. Today is Friday, September 19th, 2025. And at this time, I'll turn our workshop session over to Mr. Schroeder to walk us through the applications that we'll be seeing and hearing from today, starting at 9 o'clock for our public hearing. Brett, the floor is yours. Good morning. Call it a giant wall.
Yeah, I
okay.
Measure it, because we used to call the wall on, is it Morris Road?
Yes. Yeah,
We
there's.
used to call that the Great Wall of Alpharetta. I need to measure the new one there at Kroger and see if this one, if it matches up.
On the corner of Morris and Redbridge?
Morris.
No, it's
Hotel above it?
no.
Preston Ridge.
Yes, there's
Oh,
that medical
over
office
there.
building
Yeah,
right
yeah,
there.
you got behind the hotel. Yeah, there's a huge. So we're gonna have, Abbey Hall Interior Shop, Alpha Retail, and Georgia Skyline Stacks. So, Abbey Hall Interiors is a sign on, Roswell Street. So this is the intersection of Roswell and Old Roswell. You can picture that. May is right here, the restaurant.
You know,
So this is, her location, right here.
how'd you turn yours on?
It's the spot that was the, it was, the wine place, yes.
Turned it off?
I don't know.
Sorry,
Sorry.
there's one monitor not on.
Sorry, I don't see you. I see a blank screen.
Yeah, I'm not sure. All the other ones are on. So we don't even normally turn them on in the morning, so.
Oh, okay. That's right. I'll share with. I could share.
There is
I was like, can you see behind there, Brady?
a button there somewhere.
There we go. Oh, okay. Power.
Gotta change the source. It says source.
Yes.
Well,
No.
I don't think you can touch it, because I don't think it's touchscreen. Oh, maybe. I didn't think it was touchscreen. I don't know what button you press, Brett. What did you? You just press the power button. Is there another button back there?
I know sometimes we hit the cords that are down on the ground that disconnects it. But it's, did
Well,
it come up saying source or something?
Power cord, that's just.
You
You
know,
got power.
there was power. Well, yeah, there was
a
power.
thing down here that had source.
If on off doesn't work, then it is definitely broken.
Did you hit the power button?
There we go. All right, now it's back, or something's.
Yeah, I don't know.
When you're back
Hit
with,
it one more time.
you're back with source on there.
It must not be pulling video feed,
Hit that.
that it's going to sleep. Apparently.
No.
I don't know what
Press
this
and
button
hold.
is. Yeah, press and hold what?
It
It
went
should
away.
be
Oh,
on,
It went away pretty quick.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
I don't know.
All right, I'll share screens. Sorry for the interruption.
Okay, so, Abbey Hall Interiors, she is taking the little spot that was the Painted Horse Winery. The owner of Abbey Hall Interiors, is Al Holbrook's daughter, and Al Holbrook has the spot right next to him. So there'll be some cross activity between the two of them. But right now, she's coming for just her signage. So she wants to do just a nice, real clean sign, monument sign. She's got quite a bit of area out in front here that I think she's going to end up doing some additional landscaping and things potentially in the future. But for right now, we're going to do the sign itself.
So she's showing landscaping there, but there's no particular plan.
There's nothing,
right?
right.
And there's,
I told them they had to do something at the base of the sign,
Something.
so, yeah.
and there's nothing there now.
There's nothing there now.
Yes, just grass.
Yeah. So the next one is Alpha Retail. Alpha Retail is this building on North Point Parkway. It's P.F. Chang's is off to the screen left. That's the Aloft Hotel. And then the shopping center starts over here, screen right where Toys R Us was and things like that years ago. So this place the property got a new owner 6 months or so ago, and they decided that it was almost tenantless, and so they needed to do something to bring it to life, and so they decided they were going to paint it. Didn't realize that we had a process for that, and so when one of my officers found them, they had just finished priming the whole building. So it had primer all over all the paint. Now, I will say that it wasn't the best looking brick anyway. It was kind of that pinky orange sort of brick. So, but anyway, at their own direction, I told them that when I saw the pictures of the primed, it just looked terrible. So at their own direction, I said, I would go ahead and put one coat of paint on it at this point. And we tweaked it a little bit from what they originally had thought their scheme was going to be. I worked with them and we tweaked it a little bit. And then this is what they ended up with. So not that it can't be changed. They don't want to change it, but not that it can't be changed. Their intent to move forward at some point, not right away, but at some point, all of these windows and doors have these sort of recessed areas above them that want to make it look like a header or something like that. And apparently when they did some research in the building was built with the structure part of the thing above that. So their intent would be at some point to take these windows out and put new storefront in to bring more light and things in. If you remember back, every one of these had an awning above it that stuck out about 4 feet. So it was really dark inside, and so they wanted to lighten it up. They had thought about going back with the awnings, and then I think I sort of talked them out of that for now. Potentially going back with one or two maybe to brighten it up even more, but this is pretty much where they want to stay. They did paint the windows dark as well. This would be the back side. I think they did a pretty good job. There's things that are a little bit odd to me. When Mr. Kramer and Mr. Schwing and I met, we talked about potentially something changing in this area up here just to brighten it up a little bit. And then when I was reviewing yesterday for today, I noticed the back has a shaped vent up there, which really changes that look. It doesn't look as plain as that one, but that's the rear. So it's really odd to me, but I think potentially they could do, if this were one tenant, that they potentially get in the future and something fit right there as far as logo signage or something, I think that'd be a good spot for it, but I think this is better. The owner and I talked about going dark here at this basic wainscot or whatever you might want to call it. But we'll see what you guys feel like when they do their presentation.
But their preference at this juncture is to not do anything additional, correct?
They like it as is and would come in with a second coat to finish it off.
Brett, I noticed the dumpster enclosure needs some help.
Okay.
Have they shown anything or done anything back
They
there?
haven't yet, but that's an easy fix for them. We can get them to do that.
I mean, their dumpster wasn't even in the enclosure.
That's pretty standard these days. People are just, it's ridiculous. But anyway, that's a completely different.
Standard but not allowed.
Well, and
That's one of those things that, yes, it's not allowed, but how do you monitor it?
Right.
You know, that's going to take one of my guys
What if somebody just drive around and look at dumpsters?
constantly. And and one time you go by, it's fine. The next time it's sitting out, and the next time it's out in the parking lot, and then it's back in. You just never know.
I noticed there was a nice space for a homeless person
Yep.
since the dumpster wasn't in there.
Gee.
Homelessness is not a violation,
No, it's not, just,
but it does make for a bigger residence.
Yeah.
yes,
for
it
sure.
does.
Gives you more space. Georgia Skyline Bank. So Georgia Skyline Bank, if you're familiar, probably as you were out on Mansell Road and thought, oh, you know what, maybe I want to buy a Bentley. And so you were looking for the Bentley sign. If you looked across the street and saw the big BP gas station up on the corner, that's going to go away. And it's going to become Georgia Skyline Bank. So I'll show you a site plan here if I can get my computer to cooperate.
That'll be their headquarters.
So this is west side over here, Old Roswell, or
That's
Old Roswell Road.
Old Roswell Street or Road, one of the two, yeah.
I think it's Old Roswell Road.
That's right.
Old Roswell Street is down here.
Okay.
Anyway, Land Rover is right playing south. Catty corner across the intersection is the fairly newly built car wash. And then this intersection over here, I believe there's a hotel. This is Roswell. So they're going to be sitting up on the hill. They do have plans. If you know that intersection, there's a nice big concrete DOT wall. They're going to enhance that wall somehow. Hopefully they've got some thoughts of what they're going to do, but they have agreed they're going to enhance that. This is their photometrics. And then the building.
Actually reminds me of the bank that was there before the car wash came in. Tore it down and was constructed.
Yeah, if you would have seen the bank at road level. But really all you saw was the top little bit of it. But yes, very much of what that bank was over there.
Kind of a traditional,
Yeah, it's nice to see too, they're using nice-looking brick, right? Historic-looking brick, not putting in cheap brick and painting it, so
Yes.
we get the mortar lines.
It's a really nice looking building. I mean, they wanted, the applicant wanted a pre-meeting with me and this and that, because they wanted to make sure that, you know, they had everything they needed and the look was, and I was like, what do I tell you? It
Yeah.
looks great.
Last time we saw a new building with coins on it.
Right.
Is there any way they could get those downspouts onto the sides instead of on the front of the building? I hate the way
I don't
kind
know.
of, okay.
That'll be a good question for them. you would think,
It's not that much more area for it to drain, but it's kind of unfortunate.
Well,
Yeah.
that site certainly has great visibility because it sits up kind of.
it'll
high.
definitely be the visible. Yeah, yeah. The only thing that, when we went through our staff meeting, the only thing that we commented on, which isn't really possible, the tenant flushed it out completely, was putting the drive-through on the backside. It just doesn't fit. It doesn't fit the site. It doesn't work. So this side is the intersection, basically. Here's the drive-through. I don't think it's going to be terrible. One thing that I would recommend you guys look at might be, which we don't typically think a lot about, but in this case, I think it's going to be pretty important, is the underside of this canopy and the lighting, since you're going to be
I'm down and looking up.
15 feet below it, sitting in a car at the intersection, I think you're going to be potentially looking at lights and things like that. So maybe a different lighting strategy underneath there rather than just fixtures or something. And that just sort of came to my mind yesterday, or I would have brought it up to the applicant. But usually we don't, at road grade, it's not really a big thing. But this is going to be, say, 11 feet in the air, and then another 6 or 7 feet that the site's elevated from the road. So just a thought.
Well, BP's got the canopy for their
They do.
gas.
They do.
Okay.
And when it's dark and the lights are on up there, it's pretty bright. It's a pretty bright intersection that it comes out of it. I don't think this will be,
Because it's right out at the.
What are they
corner.
currently proposing on the underside?
I
Can
don't know.
lights?
I would think, I think they had
I didn't remember seeing anything in the package.
I see these
Oh,
fixtures here, so I assume this is an under canopy fixture.
Is it possible they could do like sconces on the columns and stuff?
Potentially, I was wondering about, it's always a safety thing for the bank. So we got to be sort of cognizant of that. But I was wondering about if you could potentially light the
Underside, like
back underside of the header.
indirectly, so it reflects.
Yeah, so it just kind of, instead of having a bulb that floods out, the lights, like a,
Kinda
Like a uplight?
a pocket or something for.
you would have thought in the old days, we would have put up 8-foot fluorescent bulbs right up against the back where you wouldn't really see them, but the light would come down. If there's a potential lighting solution that does something like that, or, and I don't think it's a huge issue, but I think it potentially provides a problem looking over there and looking right at a light bulb.
Yeah, you could probably do something indirect that would be bright enough.
Would be better, yeah. Or even if they could somehow ground light that,
Yeah, they might be able to do that.
with ground lights in the concrete or something. I don't know. So anyway, that was really the only thought that I had. They are, and I believe already have, started to enhance this area back here, between the office park and themselves. And then, as you can see out along the street here, we're going to get some nice landscaping that
Yeah, it's pretty.
hopefully will take your eye away from the big gray wall.
It's pretty barren out there now.
Yeah, yeah, it is. It's going to look a lot better. It's going to look a lot nicer than a BP. And that's that.
On that site plan, or on the landscape plan, where's the wall at?
The wall is here, the heavy dark line.
want to say it's a concrete, just a.
It's a port-in-place concrete wall. Yep.
Okay, any other questions for Mr. Schroeder this morning? All right, there being none, let's adjourn the workshop session this morning. Go get our coffee cups filled, and let's get back here at 9 o'clock to start the public hearing. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, how about
We're gonna
you?
paint that building pink.
I'm having a hard time getting into that Google document. I sent a Frank. No. Do we still have an opportunity that our companies are, you had
All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to the City of Alpharetta's Design Review Board public hearing. Today is Friday, September 19th, 2025. Welcome, good morning. Just a gentle reminder to silence your cell phones and your electronic devices, please. All right, first order of business is roll call. Looks like everybody's here except for Miss Palmer. She is enjoying a across the pond vacation, I think, in Scotland or Ireland or somewhere over there. So she didn't take us with her, so we're still here. Anyway, yes.
We could dial her in, right?
Let's see, I think, probably 5 or 6 hours ahead, so a good time for her. Anyway, but we have a quorum, so we can have our meeting. All right, if we'll stand, face the flag, and we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you for that. Next up, any items from staff this morning? Anything from staff? Aaron, Brett? Okay.
We have Aaron with us today. Ellie's got something going on this morning, so Aaron stepped in and helped provide breakfast. You see what happens when we get somebody that doesn't do nothing.
Aaron, you're invited back anytime. Okay, very good. All right, any items from board members this morning? Any birthdays, anniversaries, or anything? Nope. Okay. All right, very good. All right, next up is approving our meeting minutes from the August 15th, 2025 meeting. I assume everybody's had a chance to look at those. I know, Mr. Swing, you had made one correction, and that was the, let's see, let me get to the last.
That was on
That was the-
Ashton.
Ashton Atlanta Residential.
Yeah. It was just Mr. Rowan made the motion, not Ms. Sprayberry.
All right, let's make that correction.
And I did do the second, so that's right.
You did do the second, correct, and I found one item too on the motion before that, Aaron, under continuum Alpharetta. The word perennials is misspelled. So if you'll just make that correction there, and perennials is in the motion that Ms. Sprayberry made. But other than that, everything looks good. Ellie did a good job. All right. With those corrections, can I get a motion to approve the meeting minutes, please?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman, a motion to approve the meeting minutes for August 15th, 2025 with the corrections as noted today. And a motion.
All right, I have a motion by Mr. Swing, a second by Mr. Corco. Any comments or questions about the motion? There being none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor of approving the City of Alpharetta's Design Review Board meeting minutes of August 15th, 2025, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All opposed, no opposition. All right, minutes are approved 6-0. All right, thank you for that. Okay, our first applicant this morning is Abbey Hall Interior Shop. Come on down or come on up, please. If you'll make sure you speak into the microphone, give us your name, and then, yes.
Hi, my name is Abigail Alexander, and I'm here with Abbey Hall Interiors. We are opening up a shop in downtown Alpharetta at 54 Roswell Street, and we're here for approval for a monument sign. The sign is 5 feet tall and 4 feet 8 inches wide. It is made completely out of aluminum. The post and the base are a bronze color, and the lettering will be a brass color. I do have samples. Would y'all like those in hand?
Yes, please. All right, Joel.
The letter height for Abbey Hall Interiors will be 3 inches, and for the shop, it'll be 8 inches, and the letter
Okay,
thickness
thanks.
is 1/4 of an inch.
I'm sorry, I missed it. I think you might have said it. How deep are the letters?
1/4 of an inch.
1/4 inch, okay.
Okay, thank you.
So just a slight standoff, okay.
It's a nice gold color.
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you planning to have any uplighting on the sign?
There will be one on the ground.
On the ground.
We'll do that for landscaping.
And this is a double-faced sign?
Correct,
so,
yes.
Okay, very good. And then what kind of landscaping are you proposing at the base of the sign?
Something similar shown, with the flowers being changed out for season.
Okay,
So is it evergreen, some evergreen and some annuals?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, because I think that would be a good combination. That way there's something there in the off-season, right? Because it looks like in the photo, that might be something evergreen around the outside with the annuals in the middle, but hard to
Right.
tell, okay?
and then will that landscaped area be irrigated?
I do not know that, but I
Okay.
can find that out.
It's possible that there's irrigation there for the grass now.
Do you-
Could accommodate the flowers.
Is there irrigation for the lawn now?
I do
you know?
not have that answer, but I can
Okay.
find that out.
Okay. That always helps. Keep it a little bit lusher and.
Right.
Okay. Any other questions this morning for the applicant?
Street view.
And there's currently no sign there now, correct?
Yes.
Okay. I
there's
think
no
there may
sign.
have been one a while back, but,
Yes, the previous tenant had a wooden sign there, but that was removed when they vacated.
okay, all right. Okay, any other questions for the applicant this morning? I think it's pretty straightforward.
Does the building have any of these colors? The bronze or gold on the building?
No, it is white, with the roof is, I think it's like a dark, like a black.
Yeah, it looks great. I mean, is the building pretty much the same color as it was when Painted Horse Winery was in there?
Yes.
That hasn't been changed, right? So it looks like it's pretty much a white building with some dark colored shutters,
Correct,
maybe
yes.
black, and then the roof looks gray, at least in street view.
Okay, any other questions this morning? Okay.
All right, Mr. Chairman, did you want to ask for,
Oh, yes, I do. Let me ask for public comment. Any public comment about this application this morning? No public comment, okay.
all right, Mr. Chairman, regarding DRB 250031, Abbey Hall Interior Shop, motion to approve the monument sign as presented with the condition that the base of the sign will be landscaped with a combination of evergreen and annual flowers. And a motion.
Second.
Okay, motion by Mr. Swing, second by Mr. Owen. Any comments or questions about the motion on the floor? There being none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All opposed, no opposition. Motion passes
Thank you
6-0.
so much.
Thank you. All right, very good. Our next applicant this morning then is going to be Alpha Retail. Come on down or come on up, please. make sure you speak into the microphone, introduce yourself this morning, and then give us an overview of what we have in our application this morning, or your application this morning.
My name is Wesley Nichols. I'm here on behalf of Low Country Investments for Mansell Plaza exterior changes for 7855 North Point Parkway. I've got the samples if y'all would like those. So with the project, the color scheme got updated. All the visible exterior surfaces, including brick, stucco, stone, metal roofing, was painted. Those are the colors that I had passed around. All the original green awnings are removed. Storefront window trim, the sashes all painted black. The monument sign repainted to match the building. Updated lighting was installed. Landscaping was refreshed, new flower beds, bushes, pine straw, overgrowth was trimmed back, just to kind of bring life into the building that was kind of sitting there for a while. Nothing structurally was done. Only thing that was done was paint and light fixture, the outside sconces. So. So from on the left side, that's what it was there.
Can you, while you have this up, walk us through where, because you've got two color samples you passed around, and then you mentioned black. Can you just tell us where those three colors are being used? I mean, some of it's obvious, but mainly the black and the bronze.
The black was around just the windows and the doors,
Okay.
but the bronze is the dark color that's on the facade out there.
Okay. And you said you painted the roof?
No, sir.
Oh, I thought I heard that. Okay.
In those photos, well, actually, you'd mentioned that the landscaping there's some new plantings and done and refreshed. And I suppose we can get to that after we talk about the paint colors, but can you tell us where those are? Because I'm looking at the before and after on what's our screen right now, and I'm not seeing it.
Let me see if it's in the other photos.
And we can do it after we talk about building if you want.
Sure. So, and those were the light fixtures that were the sconces that were changed out too. For both on the building and both on the monument.
Brett, did you look at the lighting on the monument sign? The lighting on the monument sign? Because it's showing a sconce for that, is that? I guess there was sconce lighting there before.
There were sconce lights on there. I remember, I actually, now you say that, I remember when that sign was built, and the realtor that was in there wanted residential feel to the monument sign. They were a big tenant, was it Berkshire Hathaway maybe?
I think so,
In there?
yeah.
And they wanted a residential feel to it, so that was the sconces on it.
I don't know if we've ever seen sconce lighting on a monument sign before.
I mean, it's not.
I've been here a while, I don't think I've ever seen
I mean, it kind of looks okay, but I'm wondering
I
how
think it
practical
looks
is it? Because
good.
the light's going to shine sideways across the.
It's not that bright either, based on the bulbs they have. I think it looks pretty good.
Yeah, I think it looks fine. I don't think it's going to light your signage very much, but
it. Is it a precedence?
It's aesthetic.
it's an
It's
more of an
not
aesthetic
functional,
thing,
but-
yeah. Okay, all right.
It needs help.
What was the reason for removing the awnings, the existing awnings?
The existing awnings, from my understanding, was just to give it a more modern feel versus, and make it more, give it a more modern feel.
I just felt like maybe not the color selection of the awnings, but I felt like it gave it a little bit more architectural character.
Gotcha.
Felt like
It's kind of flat.
yeah. I mean, now that everything's white or kind of this dark, let's see, what's the name of the color? This urban bronze.
Urbane bronze.
Everything's kind of been, yeah.
I'll be honest, I mean, I get why they removed the old awnings looking at that photo, between being completely faded and torn and that sort of thing. I get the removal portion of it, but I'd have to see what the replacements would look like if y'all are going that direction.
I'm just trying to give it a little bit more character. I think
Sure.
It's, the paint has diminished it.
I
to
feel
some
like
extent.
there's not like a focal point as much, you know, or depth to the facade, but I think at some point, like if you had some kind of canopy, it wouldn't have to necessarily be canvas but just some kind of entry feature at the three different entrances that kind of highlight the entrance. It could be like a metal canopy that gives a little bit of covering. I think it would add a ton of character.
Yeah.
I think this is a big improvement over, you know, the 1980s, 1990s red brick look.
I did talk with the owner that I had been talking to about canopies potentially on those three spots, and we couldn't come to an agreement of what necessarily would look the best, and then knowing that, you know, we're gonna cover it anyway. But I feel like it's two different ones. I feel like you could go with that flat metal canopy on the two big ones, but on that center white, I don't know, I almost feel like because the heights of that, brickwork is different. I don't know what you would do there, so if it'd be three small ones?
I would do one at the center part. I would do, it doesn't have to come out that far, but I would do a horizontal that goes, it's across the whole thing over the windows, and then if all three of them, then at the point, if you wanted to increase the glass, you could still have glass above it. But it kind of pulls it, I feel like it pulls it all together.
Where would you, could you zoom in on that picture a little bit?
And that's a good question. It was mentioned during the workshop session that you, I guess at one point, maybe the windows were taller than they were?
No, the windows weren't taller.
Okay, the windows are as they are right now, but they
Their
may,
thought is to increase them in the future at some point, to bring more light. They wanted, instead of being an office building, they wanted to be retail. That's the goal, is retail out there. Office clearly just didn't work. It changed tenants so many times out there. I can't tell you how many holes have to be in that brick on that HR block side, because they were constantly changing tenants out.
well, I know American Express was there, the
There's a
dentist,
dentist in
there was a
there.
dance studio, there was,
Murray was in
So,
there.
so it was,
I think their feelings are that, yeah, that's good right there. I think their feelings are that retail is where it wants to go, and so bringing in more light and things like that is what they want to do, but obviously it's a new investment for them. They're not, we can ask the gentleman here, but I don't believe that they're invested in this area at all, other than this building now.
well, they are now.
Yeah, so they're new to us, and so I think they'll find that, hopefully they'll quickly, be able to find tenants and get folks in there, and then that'll just make the money issue easier for them. But, Mr. Rowan, just thinking about that center there, where would you put the horizontal
I would do it over the train,
above the center?
like, I know there's a light there right now, but just right above where the glass ends, I would go edge to edge.
So from window to window,
or door to just the door?
No, I'd do,
all
I
the way
would,
across?
You would do all the way across.
no, because, and then, and in the future, if you put more glass above, it would still look at, I just feel like you want, especially if it's going towards retail, if you had a stronger, like, arrival experience for the 3 different entrances, it would help, and it makes it feel less kind of residential or office-y to have that. That's my thought, anyway.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I agree with that comment. I think it would add a lot of visual interest
Yeah.
too.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it doesn't need to be that deep, because if you start getting a deep metal canopy, then you have to go back in and really enhance the structure inside the wall. But some of the light aluminum ones that maybe come out just a few feet, you might be able to do it without having to increase the structure on the inside.
Also give you just a little bit of an area to close the umbrella.
Yep, yes. And if it was a dark color, it would also contrast with the white, and it would stand out a lot.
Do you see that, I mean, the entry that we're looking at now, do you see that as one of your retail entries, one of your retail tenants being in that space?
Yes, sir. And there's also I
'Cause-
think there was an opportunity for possibly the co-working spaces and daycare. They've gotten a lot of inquiries about that as well.
About daycare?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So how many, you've got H&R Block, I guess, is in there now, maybe one section of the building. How many more tenants do you envision, would you envision?
I believe that there was another.
Because it looks like on the rear, too, there's a rear entry.
I think there's about 4 to 5 difference on there. Hold on.
Just trying to figure out where strategically we can place these canopies.
Sure.
Awnings or canopies, whatever you want to call them, to make it look like you do have an arrival.
Yeah, I think if you put, so you're saying put the canopies above where the sconces are,
I would,
or below them?
I mean, my recommendation was you have a soldier course right above the windows. That's where, if you had an 8-inch deep, or height-wise, aluminum canopy that spanned from the outside edge of the window to the outside edge of the window at all 3 locations, I think from a proportion perspective, just it adds character, it doesn't look so flat, and it wouldn't be a really heavy lift for ownership either, I don't think.
I think your intent would be different fixture, that fixture not there, or something like that.
Oh, for the lighting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the fixtures aren't going to
It wouldn't work,
right there.
with the light fixtures.
Yeah, I think you have to put the light fixtures on the
Move them
side,
to the side.
underneath the canopy, right?
Or,
Way to
or
differentiate for the interior.
as part of the canopy, you could have.
I guess you could do that
but-
too. But I'm trying to think too, there's gonna be some signage in there somewhere, right?
If you make the canopy shallow enough, you could have the signage, well, depends what you want to do long-term with the extra glass, but you could have it, well, you've got great sign band opportunities.
There's a
Yeah, I
good
guess-
sign band. There's opportunity if you have a short canopy to put it right on the canopy. Do some stand-up letters right on the canopy. There's good opportunity.
There's also, like, usually we struggle with that cornice and signage interfering. It looks like there's like a 4 or 5 foot band where the H&R Block sign is that goes
Yeah.
all the way around everything, which
There's
I
good
think looks
opportunity.
great. And some of it's accessible from the roof too, so you don't have to mess with interiors.
Okay. All right. What else? Let's see, walk us, and on the, I'll say this, on the rear of the building, is there an entry back there too as well? For a tenant or?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think there's a good opportunity for that canopy as well. maybe not.
There's no entrance there. One in the middle?
I thought there were some doors in the rear.
Yeah, I thought in the middle. I thought I saw it earlier.
Is this the other side?
See if I can go
I
around.
would just do the three.
Okay,
right?
there's, because there, I know there's.
Is
a
there
rear-
another
Yeah. there's a
side
rear
entrance?
entry, I
Oh,
thought.
gotcha.
You can access.
Walking around now.
Yeah, so we got those in the back sides there.
Unless they've added one, there is not currently.
Okay, all right,
Looks like maybe an emergency exit door is
Oh.
all I see back
Yep.
there. Yeah.
okay.
I believe there's two on each side of the, where the white area is.
Yeah, unless you've all kind of restructured the back of the building to add an entrance, there does not appear to currently be one. I'm just on Street View, April 2023 image. All I see is what looks like a couple emergency exit doors,
It may be, okay. I know I drove back there,
just small doors.
saw some, okay. All right. And then I did notice that the dumpster area needed some help. It looked like some of the dumpster wasn't even in the enclosure, and then the doors on the dumpster need repair. I don't know whether you've touched that or not, since you've been working on painting that.
I think that's one of the things that was getting addressed, if it hasn't been
Okay.
done already.
Yeah, it looked like it was just kind of vertical wood slats that are in disrepair.
Is that the dumpster there?
There it is right there.
Yeah, that dumpster's been outside the enclosure for a long time.
Okay. I think it fits in there. Well, that's the dumpster right now. I know. Fix it, well, it needs to be painted. Paint the color of certainly needs to be painted to match the color of the building. Probably the dark bronze, urban bronze. Yeah, help make it go away. Okay, Pat, you want to look at the landscaping? All right, why don't you walk us around the building and talk to us about the landscaping enhancements, if you will, please?
Landscaping, I know the beds are kind of hard to see in the photos, but the mulch and pine straw is there. From what we've done.
And I only bring it up because you said that it was done.
Sir?
I say I only bring it up because it said that it had been done in one of your first slides, project details, so.
I think probably what was done was just freshen up the mulch, pull weeds, trim bushes, things like that. I don't know that there's, to my knowledge, they didn't do any replacements or anything like that as of yet. Although, when I talked to them, I said, one of the comments that'll normally come out of something where we're doing exterior building modifications is, anything that's dead or dying gets replaced, anything that's damaged gets taken care of, things like that. If there's anything missing, which it appears in one of the pictures that there may be a missing tree in one of the tree islands. So I've not looked at it for landscaping yet.
So do you just want to take the lead on that then?
I think that's fine.
Okay. I think we do need to get landscaping around the monument sign.
We do, and I think just that normal part of the motion that you guys usually do with landscaping with the exterior buildings.
Leave it up to staff?
Right, but that it needs
David
to,
knows that.
David will fix it.
And then back to the dumpster, do we need to add materials around that dumpster.
I'll just include that as potential, yeah, I'll address that.
Pretty heavily screened, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it looks like it's
Needs
like,
no overgrown.
it's like overgrown stuff that hasn't been touched in a while.
Overgrown's better than none.
It provided good shade, or provides good shade. Okay, any other comments or questions for the applicant this morning? From board members? Is there any public comment about this application this morning? Any public comment? No public comment, okay. All right, does somebody want to craft a motion or motions? Okay. Mr. Rowan?
Mr. Chairman, regarding DRB 250034, Alpha Retail, and regarding the exterior changes, I'd like to make a motion to approve as presented with the following conditions. The applicant will add 3 aluminum or steel canopies over the primary entrances spanning from the outer edge of the adjacent windows. The sconce lights that are currently over the entrances will be removed and patched, and the lighting will be relocated as sconces or under canopy lighting to be approved by staff. The landscaping around the building will be improved and approved by staff, and the dumpster enclosure will be repainted to match the building's urbane bronze color and emotion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Rowan, a second by Mr. Owens. Any questions or comments about the motion on the floor?
Just want to make sure that the monument sign landscaping is included in those upgrades that staff will be working with, or working on with the applicant.
Do you want to make that a friendly amendment to, why don't you make that a friendly
Yeah.
amendment, Pat, just for clarification?
I will add a friendly amendment to Alpha Retail that the monument sign landscaping will be upgraded, and the applicant will work with staff on those requirements. End of friendly amendment.
Okay,
I accept
you
your
accept, all
friendly
right.
amendment.
And then just to make sure, Mr. Owens, do you accept the friendly amendment?
Yes, I accept.
Okay, all right, very good. Okay, any other comments or questions? We've got a motion with a friendly amendment attached to it. All right, there being no further discussion, I'll call for a vote. All in favor of the motion with the friendly amendment, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All opposed, no opposition. Motion with friendly amendment passes 6-0. Thank you for your time this morning, appreciate it. Okay. Our next applicant this morning is Georgia Skyline Bank. Come on up, come on down, please.
Good morning. My name's Chris Nardone, CNA Architects. The office is at 119 Lucky Street, Northwest downtown. I live here in Roswell at 11 at 25 Land O'Lakes Drive as your neighboring city. Very familiar with Alpharetta, been doing projects up here for a long time, and we appreciate your time. We worked hard with Brett and staff on kind of recrafting and redeveloping this piece of property. Short history, you should probably already know, but we went through a rezoning, or an amendment anyway, to reduce the building setbacks. This triangular piece of property with 65 feet on both sides was really crunching it to one little tiny spot on the site. And it was staff's desire to move the building up toward the corner. So we did work with them to kind of come up with this site plan that has already gone through the setback process. So similar to the site, we started off with many different styles of architecture and worked with this client. It's a new client, so we went through that process, and they really wanted a more traditional style building to start their bank. And this is the corporate headquarters, world corporate headquarters, Skyline Bank, Georgia Skyline Bank. And Ryan will come up and talk about a couple of issues. We also have Nan, who's the civil engineer, and John, who's the landscape architect. So each one of these people can hopefully address your questions as we go through it. Let's see if I can pull up. What do I got here? Oh, I didn't plug in. We just have a bunch of stuff here. I guess we'll start with the architecture. And
I'll tell you what, Chris, why don't you start with the site plan? Just
Site
get
plan.
us oriented and everything. If you'll do that, please.
And do we have any, like, Google Earth images, anything like that, of this site from the street? Because I know it sits up on the hill, it's got that wall in front. I've heard good things about that wall. I'd love to see what it looks like.
I
Just-
don't think I have any of them with me right now.
Mr. Schroeder may be able to pull it up.
Yeah, I do have probably the existing site plan. Here's the existing site plan. If it'll load, which is pretty much paved property line to property line. With the convenience store mostly within setbacks. Obviously, the gas canopy structure was well into the front yard setback. So we're going to be behind the existing gas canopy, but a little forward of the existing convenience store. We're maintaining both entrances off of Mansell and Old Roswell.
Hang on one second.
Tell you what, Chris, looks like Mr. Schroeder has the, okay, there we go.
So there's your wall. So it kind of cuts off half of the building, the bottom part of the building, and that view.
It's beautiful.
Well, I think the intersection improvements really made that happen, right?
Yeah.
I mean, caused all
Yeah,
that.
it wasn't quite that bad
No.
years ago, but it definitely, and in fact, I'm not sure where it got, but I told them potentially even the railing could potentially go away, just depending on how they landscaped or whatever. We may not even need that rail out there. So I think they'll work on that and
Who
stuff. But
owns that wall? I mean, who's
They
your-
do.
So you all,
I do think Pete said it was DOT wall. Yeah, it's a DOT
so
wall.
it is DOT.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But
So as such, I mean, what are you allowed to do to it?
I
DOT is so easy to work with.
I believe it's our DOT.
Oh.
It's gonna be our Public Works, I believe,
Oh,
because that's
so it's a
not
public works wall.
That's not a highway.
Okay.
It's not a state road, right?
It's not a state.
So I hear DOT, I think.
Yeah, yeah, right. So I think our Public Works has agreed to let them enhance
Okay,
the wall.
yeah, that's much
Yeah.
easier than the state, for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like the wall goes higher than the grade at the top
it does.
as well, right?
It does.
Yeah. Would have been way better originally if that wall was
Okay.
just slightly above grade with a nicer railing on it. And
So, and I, now I remember this intersection, and does, you know, I was picturing when we had our preliminary discussions on this morning, I was picturing it must be the building being much higher than the wall and all that, so, okay, I'm much more situated on what we're looking at now.
It will be in the future. I think this wall just made this building look like it's half a building. So with an increase, and I don't know what the height of this canopy is, but I'm going to guess that their building is probably taller than the canopy at its peak. So it'll have a nice presence up there.
And are those power lines,
Yes.
or are those just phone lines?
I think
I
there's,
see
I think
I
there's,
see a
both.
pole back there, and
I
I
think
don't,
this is new power, new overhead power.
oh, yeah,
Yep.
transmission even, sweet.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
have an easement across that old Roswell Road for the power.
Okay,
So
and you
big
got-
trees out there will be a no-go, but definite enhancements.
Which also was part of the challenge because we couldn't use that easement as our landscape strip. So
Sure.
the landscape strip came behind the easement. And again, we were
That's-
kind of crunching everything.
That's always my challenge in the city of Alpharetta.
But
interior.
we did agree in the variance hearing that we would, at a minimum, be able to paint the wall. Ryan would like to talk to you about a couple other options that we were exploring.
Okay.
Always, cost is always an issue. It's a lot of square footage.
You have to take fuel tanks out and everything, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah. And
Okay.
that's actually gonna happen from the current owner, is gonna remove all the tanks, mitigate the ground before the purchase actually closes, so that the
That's smart.
Georgia Skyline Bank doesn't have any responsibility for that.
Yeah, who knows what lurks, for sure.
So,
Okay, thank you.
sure.
All right, that helps.
Hang on.
So it looks, it looks like that.
Yeah.
Looks like the corner, the wall is barely above grade. You start here, it's most there, the ground slopes up, and you get to the corner,
Yeah.
so they're probably gonna need a railing.
Okay.
All
back
right,
on.
back
I'll
to the
let
site,
them figure out
back to the site
where a
plan.
railing needs to go, for sure.
Now that we
But
know
yeah.
what the existing looks like.
Yeah, I just wanted to comment on that, because you had mentioned, Brett, that you thought that railing could go away, but that wall is, looks like at the corner is only, that much above grade.
So it is, but if it's not a walkable surface behind the wall, then you
Right.
don't need a rail.
Mm-hmm.
So what we sort of talked about is if there's
Density
landscaping, that fills that in, that makes it not walkable to get to the wall, then it's not a,
Yeah, so you'd have to have some,
they're gonna have to have something,
Right.
whether it's a rail,
I'll let you guys figure that out.
some sort of,
There's a
some,
little bit of liability.
Yeah, I'll stay out of that.
yeah,
Relying on
yes,
landscaping.
but there's potential there.
okay,
All
got
right.
it.
Fair enough.
Okay, Chris, back to the site plan. Just kind of walk us.
Next slide. So, as Brett mentioned, we worked with the positioning and the drive-through areas to kind of all come together with this basic footprint. Still maintaining the two existing curb cuts, so we're not messing with the DOT on those particularly. But the way this flows is, if you come in from Mansell, you'll drive around, go around the bank, go through the drive-through, and then have your choice of going back out to Mansell or coming back out to Old Roswell, going left or right. vice versa, if you're coming in from Old Roswell, you just take your right-hand turn and go to the drive-through. We have parking. We know this is not just a branch bank, but it's got an office space as well for the bank. So we needed enough spaces for employees, as well as the few customers that actually do go into the bank. We have what we're calling an enhanced screening area over on the Mansell side to help screen that portion of the building that has a drive-through in it. Some convenience handicap spots out in the front. We have a few small detention areas that we're using, and I'll let Nan and John explain a little bit more into depth of the landscaping per se. And any particular questions about the site, or do you want to talk about the landscaping now?
Let's stay on the site. Just, so is there a dumpster, will there be a dumpster or trash?
No dumpster. We originally had one shown, but the bank wants to use a secure shredding company, and whatever cleaning service they use will haul off the minimal amount of trash they have when they go.
Okay,
So
very good.
Dumpster.
All right. And then
So-
I guess,
So what is that little spot?
Yeah, right here,
Yeah, what is that?
that's the one we eliminated.
Okay.
Yeah, so just switch to something real quick here.
Will you fit a car in there or just fill it in?
That's President's parking spot right there.
Maybe this, I'm not sure if this will show better. Yep, same one. No, we need to remember to take that out.
and then Chris, it looks like you are using underground stormwater detention.
Yes.
So there's no detention now? There's nothing? Really?
None. Okay.
Okay.
Good morning. I'm Nan Wilcox with Carter Hawker Road Group. The current site does have drain pipes that there's just no way we can make it work with the new layout. That hatched area that we had on the landscape plan that was in the driveway, that's going to be the underground detention that we expect. But we had met with the city and talked with Jill, and we had those two bioretention areas that the city requires, and Jill was in agreement with our locations of those two. So there is detention that will be removed. There's just no way with the new layout we can make it work. So we are preparing to do to meet the code with the detention.
This is one of the biotensions.
Right, down at the intersection, and then one at the top,
Right
by the driveway. Exactly. And then that hatched area and the driveway are all the areas that we plan to do underground.
Okay, very good. Thank you for that.
Okay.
Okay, any other site questions at this point for the applicant? Being none, all right, let's,
While I'm looking at this also, another thing that kind of came up through this evolution was the location of the monument sign. Currently, it's on what I'll call the north side of the Mansell Road curb cut. But we would, basically, that seems to be blocking sight lines and visibilities. We would prefer to move it to the other side of that driveway so that you got the driveway in front of the sign, not hiding behind the sign.
So
Chris,
what's,
sorry, can you use your mouse so it's,
Yeah, so right now it's shown as being right here as the
Okay.
existing sign.
right,
We just want to move it over to this side.
all right.
so what's the rectangle next to the handicap or the walkway into the site off of Old Roswell? There's a rectangle down there, right, next to the walk. Coming down that right there. What's that?
That's another monument sign
Oh, two monument. Okay, one for each street. Okay,
for each street.
thank you.
And I think this one is where we want it located. This all kind of came through that improvement that Ryan has been working with the neighboring office complex to clean up all the dead scraggly pines and re-landscape that into something much nicer. But we were a little concerned as you come down Mansell towards 400, this drive sneaks up on you pretty quickly. And so having any obstructions, just having that sign in that area, we felt it was better for sightlines to have it on this side.
Okay, very good.
We'll resubmit that.
All right, and then we talked about the concrete wall there kind of facing Mansell Road and Old Roswell Road, I guess. Are there any other proposed retaining walls or existing walls on the site?
No.
No, nothing behind the parking areas? Or-
There's an existing small wall on the backside, isn't there?
Is,
Nan? Yeah, so there's
Okay.
an existing small retaining wall on that side.
and is that, are you looking at it, or is it, what's,
It's low, right? Their property.
do you see that from the bank side, or do you see that from
You
the
see it from the office building side.
office? You'll see the, okay,
It slopes up from the site
got it.
up to the next parking lot above.
Okay,
It's an existing wall that, again, we're trying to help them out a little bit as well.
I had a quick question about the pedestrian path from Old Roswell.
yeah, okay.
Looks like you've got enough slope that requires handrails on that. Are you putting the handrails actually into the concrete sidewalk or on the outside of
I
it?
think it'd be cored into the sidewalk.
Okay. And then is there a reason the handicap ramp that's up against the building that connects that, is there any reason why that can't be slid over so that that it aligns with the ramp on across the way? Seems like it keeps shifting over.
This one here,
Yeah. Can that slide to the left so that you could align it with the ramp?
yeah, there's a little bit of a grade issue here that we had a switchback at first.
Well, I'm not saying mess with any of that. I'm just saying
Slide
the ramp that's adjacent to the building to just slide that to the left so that
I think that can.
your
that-
pedestrian
that
walkway
center
can align.
I think, right? So he's talking about just this alignment here.
It's like shifted over. I know it's a subtlety, but
Well, I know that we visited this area went back and forth with trying to, I think we were concerned, we wanted to line it up because of the turn of that customer coming in. We didn't want the pedestrian path to be at an angle getting over to the building. You see what I'm saying? So
But
that's
can you-
why we put it where we did. We can make the grades work where it's a straight shot for that pedestrian, so that we thought about shifting the handicap ramp either direction, but we were concerned about that path being a longer path for that pedestrian to get over to the building if we did it another.
I was just saying that the ramp that's up against the building, that one right there, why can't that shift like a foot or two so that it aligns with the pedestrian walkway? And
I think also what we've got to keep in mind is that we were trying to do the end of the ramp at the end of the radius of that sidewalk. So I think that was where the decision, but we can shift around. We're just trying to avoid the existing wall, and it's just kind of, it's really tight through that area, but.
I think we're talking about a foot.
yeah,
Right.
I think that could.
Okay.
We can make that work. We could even widen the walk, the striping.
Right.
that's fine.
If that made it better. Yeah, I think early on, we had a comment, this ramp or this walkway was coming at a severe angle toward the front doors, and we were asked to straighten that out, so.
Okay. Any other site questions for the applicant?
Well, just, maybe I misunderstood the answer to the question, but that retaining wall on the backside of the site, it appears that currently it's a poured concrete wall that is visible from within the site. Like it's about looks like 3 foot tall concrete wall. All right, are you planning any treatment on that wall?
What was not contemplated to my knowledge.
Whose scope does it fall under? Fall under landscape or does it fall under architecture?
Sorry.
The scope, whose scope of work would that wall be? To enhance it or not enhance it?
Well,
I saw a nod of the head that it's getting enhanced.
what we're doing on their property, Brian is a little more hands-on with the owner for that. So if you notice, all this landscaping is not on our property.
I didn't notice that, but, okay.
So that, all right.
Where's the property line? I'm assuming it's that dashed line, right?
It's kind of on the wall right there and then angles off slightly about a foot or two off the wall down here.
Okay. So I saw a nod of the head that the wall was getting enhanced.
Yeah. Hey, good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Ryan C. Floyd, I'm the proposed president of Georgia Skyline Bank. Thank you for your time this morning. We're excited about coming to Alpharetta. Yeah, I did want to mention we have had significant conversations with our general contractor, who is Genoa, by the way. We have selected our general contractor. We're really excited about them. And as Chris mentioned, the zoning committee required that we at least paint the wall. And you'll see in the landscape design, we have several like cascading greenery and flowers that are coming over the wall that's going to make it look nice. But we understand that it's going to be the focal point of our bank. So we're going to make sure that it's, we're looking at other options, either a thin set to make it look like not just a white concrete wall, but maybe a stone look, or even a brick facade on it. And whatever we did on the wall that's in the front, we would match it with the wall that's in the back of the site, which would be matched, therefore, with our brick on our building. So to where it flows directly with the front wall that you see from Mansell intersection to the bank to the back of the site.
So your side of this wall.
That's correct.
But you haven't decided exactly what you're doing yet, sounds like.
We have not. The requirement was to at least paint the wall in the front, which we felt like that was the minimum that we wanted to do. And then we're looking at pricing out what it's going to cost to make it even more beautiful for not only the bank and for the city and for the Department of Transportation. So we want to be good stewards with our capital, but also we understand that this is key to us. We don't want anything to not look representative of the bank, and we understand that that's the first thing that you see when you're coming up to that intersection. So we're reviewing that right now.
Yeah, I mean, you've designed a very nice, high-end, attractive-looking building, and then you really don't want to have
We're not going to waste it with
Have an
the
ugly wall
DOT
in front of it,
ugly
yeah.
wall. Right, that's right.
You mentioned a requirement to paint the wall. Where did that come from?
That came from the Board of Zoning Appeals.
So are there other conditions?
Board of Zoning Appeals.
Okay.
There's
Any other conditions?
not really, I mean, they're basic. I just showed, they're all landscape, and I just showed them to
okay.
these three. It was enhance the bioretention area, which isn't really seen from the right of way anyway, and do the landscape strip along Mansell Road to enhance the screening with the drive-through. So what we would do here anyway, as those were staff conditions that the Board of Zoning Appeals just said, we approve it with staff's conditions. So those staff conditions would be what would normally come out of here anyway, so.
Yeah, the other thing besides that wall is the railing right now can't really stay. I mean, it looks like a galvanized pipe.
Yeah, I think whatever, and,
won't stay.
Yeah, it's gonna change. It's gonna go to something different one way or the other. The conditions do, which is a little bit weird, the conditions have the wall redo, basically, subject to final approval by staff. I don't know that BZA can set that to staff without you guys. Council can,
So whose condition was that?
Board of Zoning Appeals.
Another zoning.
Yeah. So I would say we need to look at whatever treatment they want to do. If you guys are comfortable with leaving it to staff, then we're okay again.
Okay.
If, you know, and I think the intent is, if it's affordable, it's probably going to be brick.
Yeah.
They just don't have that number yet, and that's understandable.
There's, I think you might have even mentioned it, you can do a thin face brick that is easily applied. And even if you only did a portion of it to create, like, I'm just trying to think economically, if you can't afford to do the whole thing, which would be ideal. But if you could do a portion of it to kind of create like a rusticated base. And I think the other thing is any portion that's painted needs to be kind of the darker color in the palette, because the light color just is glaring. And you can
Stuff to
see.
do on a curve, stuff to do a flat piece on a curve as you go. So I would say, so to continue the discussion, at this point in time, what are you all planning to do to the wall? What do you plan on presenting to us today?
The requirement of the zoning board was to paint it and have landscaping cascading over the top of it.
So do
With
you
the
have a
removal-
presentation of that?
With the removal of the gray rail. So that was what was required.
So you
But
guys have a paint color and,
we do not have, because our intention is to go well beyond that and either look at a thin set or a brick.
so I would say, Brett, that if it goes, if we don't even know what a color is yet, then we're just gonna, I would say at this point in time, this board would need to defer anything, including if it's a brick thin set or something like that, because it's so prominent, and it's, in my point of view, it's so prominent from the right of way, which is, you
I
know,
think, yeah. I mean, 6-1 half dozen.
not that I don't feel comfortable with staff looking at it.
I agree. Not that I don't feel
But
comfortable
I'm
with
getting that's what the
ourselves.
zoning is pushing
However,
towards.
however, what I will say is it's has nothing to do with the building and the site as far as its constructability. So I think they have plenty of time to figure
Sure.
that out.
100%.
That they could come back and say, here's what we've decided to do with the wall.
Oh, absolutely.
can we-
Yeah, but
I would
think we
say,
do-
I would say
think we
any
do
color
need to-
is better than what's there now.
Any color is better than what's there.
Brett, in order to get them an approval in their hand, can we just make a proposal for it to be thin set brick, utilizing colors from the palette, and then if they change it, they could come back, but otherwise, no?
I want to see it.
Why don't we include it in the landscaping and defer the landscaping?
Yes.
Because that doesn't let them move forward with the
Oh,
LDP.
for the-
I think we
Defer the wall.
I think we defer the wall itself.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, if you want to see the wall, I think you could do an approval on everything but the wall.
Okay.
And we're open to partnering with the city. If
Yeah.
the city would like to really make it very nice, and they'd like to write a check, we'd be happy to really make it very
You
nice.
got Pete's cell number, right?
I mean, I don't, but I'd be happy to call him.
We're just trying to make it less prominent. How about that? We're trying to make it.
As do we. But what's there now is not glamorous, right?
Yeah,
So
I think a deferral on the wall gives you guys the opportunity to say, okay,
And it's not going to hold up them pushing dirt.
no, this is what we want to do. This is what
Certainly.
we've settled on. Let's see if these guys agree, and more than likely they're going to agree because you've heard what their thoughts are. So,
That's right.
I think that's a great way to go.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess you're leaving the wall. I mean, with all the site work you're gonna have to do, the wall's gonna remain.
Yes.
You're not cutting it down, or
because
you're
the
not.
pad is basically at the same spot.
Okay, all right.
I wouldn't touch it either.
yeah.
And it's not our,
Especially if it's-
it's really, it's not our wall.
Yeah.
I don't mind decorating somebody else's wall. but
Hopefully, the wall is doing what it's supposed to be doing. so
Seems
it's-
like it. Seems like
Okay, all right. We digressed a little bit. Okay, now that we're clear on the wall,
No,
all the
that
walls.
is a big issue and has been.
Okay. All right, any other site questions? Maybe I shouldn't ask that question. All right, while you're up here, Chris, why don't we jump to the architecture, the exterior
And
elevations and
I don't know if I
materials?
mentioned this, but we also want to add a flagpole, probably right in this area out here somewhere. It'll meet whatever city requirements are as far as height.
Okay,
All right, let's try. this thing down. Okay, here we go. Getting there. All right. So, as I mentioned, we kind of evolved into a fairly traditional style building. And for whatever contextual purposes, we looked at the car wash, catty cornered across the street. So we are just outside the overlay district, the North Point overlay. We're almost abutting it. It starts kind of catty cornered across the street. So instead of having a red brick building, we felt like it made sense to try and tie that intersection together with at least similar colors, mostly similar materials. They have a metal roof, they have a tan CMU or brick. So what we thought we would do is we would have a nice contrasting dark chocolate brick base along with the jack arches and other miscellaneous trim, and a dark bronze roof.
Chris, if you could you, I think you're about to go there, could you walk us through or
And you may
provide
need-
provide Vanna to
Yeah, you may need
walk
some
us through these
help.
materials as you mentioned them? Thank you.
And you'll need the microphone too when you speak, Chris, so you may need to.
So, brick base.
All right, Chris, you got to speak into the microphone while you're doing that. That's going to be the challenge. You need 3 hands.
Really want to come help me out? So brick 1 is the main field, and it's this tannish mottled rustic type brick, and then the dark brown along the base and along the sills and the jack arches. Metal roof panel, not quite as dark as the rendering, but it's a dark bronze that goes with both of these.
And that's painted? Or is it coming out?
It's integral.
Okay.
It's a face coating product, but it's permanent. Yeah, so we have the light buff mortar and then a chocolate mortar to go with each one of those. That was the standing seam roof. The metal louver by the same manufacturer. Paint on a couple different elements that matches the bronze. Then we had more of a limestone type coins and keystones. Where else? We were going to paint the downspouts to match, but now I know we're going to move them around the side, so you won't see them anymore. But yeah, so we can make that work. The building's not that long.
That's great.
So we'll roll them around to the sides. We already have them on the sides, but we'll just size them up a little bit. Divided light windows.
Are you going to be able to do the divided light entry doors like it's shown on the elevations versus the G2 Or maybe it's different on your board
Ye-
than it is here. Here it just has one division,
Looks like they've changed.
but it looks like on your board it's showing it the way that,
Oh, on this one, that's the old,
Oh, that's,
the updated one with the right.
yeah, I like that.
we did update that, sorry. Yeah, you can get that package with transoms, with side lights, without.
Yeah,
It's pretty, everything's custom now. No, you don't shop for a window size, they just make them. But yeah, the idea is not to have just big sheets of plate glass. And what else have we got? I guess this metal here is basically the same as the roof for the fascia trim. Then we have some miscellaneous pieces that are EFIS and some that'll be painted. And so that's our EFIS color and our paint color.
Chris, looking at, looks like you've added G4 to the board we're looking at now versus what was in our package. What is?
It's just an extra mortar. That's the chocolate mortar, and that's the regular mortar.
Oh, okay.
So we didn't have the mortar
Got
on
it.
there before.
Okay.
So as we were going through it, I decided, yeah, better select them as well.
Okay.
You want us to pass these around?
I don't know that you need to pass them around. Okay. All right. And then why don't you just, with that, then walk us through each of the other elevations? Because I assume this is the.
This is the front that faces the intersection.
Right. Okay.
And air conditioning is ground mount?
Excuse me?
Air conditioning units are ground mount?
Yes. And that does show up on the landscape plan. And
We should just hand this.
so, starting with the opposite side, it's virtually identical. The same side for the customers to enter, as this building really has two fronts. It's got the front that addresses the intersection, and then it's got the front where the customers will come in. So they're basically identical. And then going around to the sides, it's the same basic thing. Can you hold that a little bit? And then down here, we're showing the condensers.
Can you lift that up and put that? There you go. Thank you.
So we're starting to show the condensers in here, but we're on the site plan, the landscape, we're showing a little brick screen wall.
Good.
We'll go around those. So we have a ton of landscaping, but we're also going to have a little brick knee wall. No new product on this either side that's not on the front. So it is a really pretty simple building, not a whole lot of different materials.
Seems like a lot of material.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it.
All right. And then look at where your proposed signage is going. I see which elevation is that? You've got one.
Sorry, which goes?
The signage, your building signage, your proposed.
On two sides.
Okay.
The front that faces the corner,
All right.
and the side that faces Mansell.
That's the Mansell side. Okay.
That's the drive-through. So the drive-through is not the full, we didn't make it the full width of the building, just made it long enough to cover a couple cars.
Are the columns for the drive-through, it looks like on the side elevation that they're like EFIS?
Yes. We have it's got the dark brick. It's got the dark brown brick base. We had to use it.
Are you concerned about like durability in that area to have an EFIS
Well,
when you've got brick everywhere?
The bollards for the equipment in the first place, so we were thinking the bollards were going to protect those columns.
So that the drive-through area is in an active teller. Will it be a teller there at the drive-through? Because I know some drive-throughs have just eliminated the teller and it's more of a ATM or a. So there is a teller there. No. Okay.
One drive-through with a visible. Sorry about that. Two lines. The one closest to the bank will be a visible teller,
Okay.
a person with a window, and the second will be the ATM.
So
Just two.
Tellers there, ATMs.
All right, good, thank you.
One recommendation, but not a requirement, is you might talk to Genoa about the cost difference to make those columns masonry, because the mason's going to be out there for so long, it might be cost neutral, and you might get a more durable finish, and it kind of matches better, so.
Looks like the columns have a brick base, right?
They do.
And then it's,
But we just take the rest of it.
And then there was some discussion in the workshop session about the soffit of the drive-through. Can you describe to us what,
The material for the soffit would be EVAS.
okay?
And we can definitely go black and white, either with a cove or reflective fixtures if we suspend something in there.
Okay, I know security is a concern, obviously, but you know, I guess we don't want it that bright, so it's not a blinding.
Yes.
Okay,
So
all right.
my first thought was to, was listening to you, just run a continuous code around the outside. Without feedback. We'll run a continuous cove so we get indirect, no point source.
Okay, all right, very good. Okay.
When you said soffit, I'm thinking of the whole ceiling of the drive-through. Is that what you're referring to?
Yeah, that whole soffit.
Okay, the whole thing you're calling the soffit, okay.
So where it drops down around the perimeter, that's where the opportunity is to put the
Right,
cove
so
line.
the inside would be higher than
Yeah.
the outside.
Okay. I know usually on the roof, there's some let's see, rooftop penetrations, plumbing vents, things of that nature. Where are you proposing, or?
Well, most likely, we won't want them on the front, we want them, they'll show up on this backside. We won't want them on the front.
All right, so it'll be on the back side of it.
And it'll just be a couple vent stacks,
Okay.
because the mechanical's all on the ground,
Well, probably a vent through roofs just for plumbing
exhaust
like
fan.
that. Maybe you can gang those together. So
Yes.
there's just one or something if you can make it that way.
Yeah, maybe it's judiciously two of them.
Or two,
And,
okay.
we have some preliminary plans for the interior, but want to get through this first.
Okay. Let's see, any lighting on the building that you're proposing?
Right now, we just have corner floods to uplight the building.
Okay. No sconces or anything of that nature, or?
Wall packs for parking.
No, I think the site lighting was being done by poles.
Okay. All right. Any other exterior elevations or material questions for the applicant? None? Okay.
I would
All
like to, now that I think about it, we probably want a couple recessed cans inside each one of these little porches.
Okay,
They'll
very
be
good.
And Eric, you'd
Very
mentioned in pre-meeting about the downspouts in front, so I think as part of this,
Yeah,
they're getting moved, right?
Yeah,
Part of your
we're-
presentation, you said they're gonna
to
get
the
moved.
sides.
Yeah,
That's
we
great.
already have them on the side, so I'll just have to beef them up a little bit.
Okay. All right, while we were talking about lighting and site lighting, why don't we just quickly look at your site photometric study
Okay.
that you did, please?
Bless you.
Security. Okay. And do you want to talk about the photometrics at all? Okay.
The photometric design we have included in a submittal package we sent to LSI, and we did take into consideration that the lights could not be in the islands per landscape code. And so I believe there are 4 area lights provided on the site, 1 near the handicap parking, 2, 1 near the wall. As you can see, the 4 parks that are just closer to Mansell, 1 at the end of the island, but it was far enough from the tree, and then there's one kind of near the landscape island between the building and Old Roswell Road where you enter. So it meets the code. I've sent the code to LSI, so I feel like it's pretty straightforward. Now, we did not include, we did include the lights underneath the canopy for the drive-through. So that was part of the design.
That's the SCV light is what you had originally proposed under the canopy?
I have to admit that I left it to the LSIs. We can see what it says underneath.
It's to the right.
So the canopy.
They're all luminance.
So that's STV.
But we can make sure that they're recessed if there's a concern, or, we can make sure that if you have some concerns like that, we can make sure that they're recessed, or if you have a preference for that.
We're good with a no.
Wasn't that where you talked about going?
Yeah, I think
directly?
you've already mentioned that you'd be willing to do
Doing no point source.
around the edge indirect
So we'll have to modify.
in that little drop soffit.
Okay.
Okay.
And I'm kind of going, backtracking here. Is there a walk-up ATM or just drive-through? Just drive-through. Thanks.
Stay in your car. Okay, any other, any lighting questions? All right, let's
I guess
ju-
the color of the fixtures would be bronze or
Bronze.
I think they, let's see, I believe it did, let me, all right, let's jump into the landscaping plan then, please, and walk us through that.
Come on, John.
Before you do that, can I ask one more question about the lighting?
Sure.
You guys have, it's somewhat of a utilitarian fixture that's called an XWS silicone. It looks like a pole fixture, but it's wall mounted. Is that going to be anywhere on the building, on the facades?
Go back in there and see. Which fixture were you looking at?
It's, if you go to the right of,
Oh, yeah, it is a ground mount or wall mount.
Yeah.
On the back side of it.
slide over or scroll over more. There's pictures. Up, zoom out more.
Oh,
That
okay.
one right there. It just seems very utilitarian if it's going to be going on your
Well,
building.
it's not listed on the lighting schedule.
It is. W and it's shown on
Well,
the back side of the bank.
is it, oh, there we go, I found it now, okay.
Did they put
X.
they put a couple of wall mounts for security on that rear entrance.
Good cat there.
Yeah, I don't know if that would match the
Okay.
architectural character of the nice building you designed.
Yeah, we can work on a better fixture.
Yeah.
Let's do that, okay.
That's something you'd put like on a service entrance or something, yeah.
Retail.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
All right, good catch. Okay, anything else on lighting? All right, let's talk about landscaping, please.
It's like a long package.
Hmm?
It's like a big package, and maybe I could make it bigger.
Well, this is the main landscaping plan. I did have this pulled up. So John, I've got your pictures and stuff here.
Okay.
If you want to go to that, the larger plan is right there.
All right. Hey, good morning. I'm John Beal, landscape architect with Carter Hawkroyd Group. So we previously worked on the car wash that's kind of catty-cornered initially, so we used some of that input from the landscaping for that plan to kind of influence our design, choose similar plant palette here. Our biggest issue kind of is the power line easement. So we've had to shift our landscape behind that, so we got some shorter trees that are Georgia Power approved to be in the easement. They're not gonna get too tall. Those are kind of in the front there, and then we have our overstory in the rear behind those.
Why don't you use your, John,
Oh,
if you
okay,
use
sorry
your-
about that.
use your pointer and kind of walk us through those areas that you
Sure.
were referring to, please.
Real quick, can you grab the and bring it? Yeah, sorry, we're getting some feedback from it.
So along the frontage here is where the easement concern is with Georgia Power lines. We have a few understory trees along the frontage here, and then more overstory canopy trees behind them once we're outside. Then we are kind of around the frontage. We have a double hedgerow that goes around the entire of the parking area to kind of shield the lights from the headlights of the cars bleeding out into the surrounding roads.
John, what are those trees, the overstory trees? Looks like oaks on Old Roswell, and what are they along Mansell? The shade trees, overstory shade trees.
Along Mansell, we're using Princeton American elms. And then along Roswell, they are
I see
high
them.
tower willow oaks.
Yeah. Do those exist anywhere else on those streetscapes in that corridor?
I believe that the willow oaks were used in the car wash on the adjacent, the catty-cornered intersection. I'm not sure about the Princeton American elms.
I mean, it's such a, I get it, it's jumbled up out there, it's pretty well carved up from site to site to site out there.
Well, part of the issue may be too, is where Alpharetta transitions to Roswell. So on Old Roswell Road,
That's a good place for a wall.
is that, even, all right, so the adjacent property owner heading, what is that, south on?
On Old Roswell, yeah, that's us.
That's, okay, all right.
Yeah, we have both sides of the street there, all the way to Warsaw, and then just the
okay.
right side of the road for another quarter of a mile.
Okay, all right.
And then although you don't have it shown here, there's gonna be a flagpole.
That was added this morning.
Yeah, well, that, which is great, and hopefully your trees can adjust so that you got a, that you can see that from the corner, and then showing my patriotism on this one, but hopefully you'll be able to open up some sight lines to that from that corner.
Help me out again, where's the proposed flagpole location? In that island? Okay.
This is a little extension.
Oh,
Right between curve.
okay, thank you.
I think there's a light pole up from there.
And we also need to make sure that we're going to have room to put the screening for the front of the parking there, the double row of evergreen, because I imagine you'll have some sort of like concrete area around the flagpole for raising and lowering, so that'll take up a little bit of area there, because it's just so close to the bioretention.
Yeah, that's just a desire that came up, and we'll have to coordinate something.
Just a couple considerations there.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. So while we're speaking about the bioretention area, we kind of have it screened with more evergreen things, some flowering deciduous that will kind of beautify it while, sometimes when it's a little dry, the bioretention can look a little bit more run down. So we have some things around the outside of the bioretention to kind of screen when the vegetation on the inside may be waiting for that next rain or whatever before it comes back to life. So it's kind of hide it a little bit with something that will be year round. And then since that intersection is so prominent, we kind of beautified it with some larger, like limelight hydrangea, something that's going to be a nice kind of bright entry into the kind of the corridor there. So then moving around the site, We have
What
the-
are your plantings above the wall?
Above the wall, it was, there was the desire to kind of have some cascading elements. Because the wall is right on the back of the sidewalk that exists out there, most things that we'd like to use would grow up the wall, but since we can't plant at the base of the wall, we're trying to find things that can kind of cascade over the top. We were using, I believe we have some, let's see if how do I do touch screen. We have things like weeping rosemary, which will kind of give it almost like a little Italian, like rustic kind of feel along the wall there, but other things like the drift rose, which is a smaller, more ground cover rose, and that kind of has a weeping effect. There's the blue Pacific juniper is not your typical juniper that you may think of that kind of grows up. It kind of grows along the ground and kind of is more of like a carpet effect, and that will weep over the side. We didn't use anything like an ivy. I feel like that can kind of get a little out of control in other landscape areas. It can kind of migrate and take over, but so we just try to keep things that could be manageable from the top, but then would also have sort of a weeping feature that come down the side of the wall.
What is the grade behind the wall to the top of wall? Is there a pretty continuous, like, will those plants have a chance to spill over, I guess is what I'm getting at. Is there a
Yes, I believe that we'll kind of build it up, kind of mound it up a little bit, and so that they will be visible. They won't be hidden behind the wall. They'll kind of be more at the top of the wall and kind of have the chance to come over the top like that. That area is in the right-of-way, so it's kind of an interesting situation of who then takes ownership of those plants there, and that kind of, so there'll have to be, I guess, maybe some sort of maintenance thing there. But we didn't want to fill it up with lots of large shrubs, so it's more of just like a cascading effect, and they'll kind of fill in the area as time goes on.
Your juniper's a good selection there. What I notice about it is you may want to use more of that juniper consistently throughout, as you're using varied plants. And the key to the contractor, as Jennifer brought up, will be to raise that grade.
Okay.
So that it easily gets to the top of the wall.
Right.
So back to the wall, we talked about trying to eliminate the handrail that's there now. With what's being planted here, does that allow you to eliminate that handrailing?
I would say by code, I think it does.
Because it looks like that the weeping stuff is not continuous along the wall. It's kind of planted in groups of 3, and then there's spaces between it. So I assume the space is that grass?
The space will be it will be filled with grass, and they'll have little like mulch beds around.
Okay.
And then as it kind of migrates, the idea is that it will kind of take over the grass area, and those will migrate to fill in the space between the wall and add more chance for cascading.
So I think what we probably should do is just let that plan review.
Okay.
Let them try to figure that out, because it'll be a discussion between them. It's not necessarily that it has to be at the wall. It just has to keep you from getting to the wall.
Kind of a barrier or something.
Yeah, so it, and I'm not speaking to the code, but I'm thinking in this particular case, there's no sidewalk up there. So it potentially could be at the parking lot and let that all grass out there, in theory.
Okay.
But I think there'll have to be some spots where it's full. I can potentially see where the sidewalk access goes through. Maybe that potentially right up against that gets completely some sort of a barrier. But it's So you have to think of where the pedestrians are coming from. They're not coming from a sidewalk, they'd be coming from the parking lot. So it's that we got to keep them from getting out there.
Okay, I just want
Yep.
to make sure we're getting rid of the railing or trying, doing.
Attempting, yes.
Well, we won't know until we know when they do the work on the wall. The only thing is that corner. You've got that arced corner, and I think you can do more on that corner with the plantings directly behind that wall. I think we're a little sparse. I think you could really dress that corner up and really make it a little more garden-esque, if you will.
In the, kind of like in the
At the
curve.
arc,
Yeah,
the part
okay.
that's up on the screen right now.
Okay.
On that corner, I think you can really do more there. You've really dressed up your pond for various reasons. But I think you're a little sparse on that corner. And I think a combination of what y'all plan to do with the wall and then what happens on that corner with your plantings, I think you've got a better opportunity to really dress that up and let the plantings carry the day instead of the eye going to the wall. The eye goes to the plantings above it, evergreens and flowering and all that good stuff.
Okay. Yeah. I guess one of our thoughts was that was going to be, because we have so many trees along the sides, that was going to be our good view into the site to have visibility into the building.
Is it a good visibility spot I'm still picturing that wall there and you're not be able to see the building, but if you think you can, then I see the point for leaving it open.
We think you're going to see the building.
Okay.
Sorry. We think we're going to see the building. It's three times taller than the current little convenience store.
Yeah, but I see what you mean. This area here there's some void area, so maybe some more landscaping could be applied there to kind of help take the driver's eye to the wall, to the shrubs, to the building, kind of a tiered effect.
Mm-hmm. And along with that, you might consider the, is it the Princeton elms? Maybe you pull those back a little to make it a little more symmetrical on that corner with what you're doing with the high towers on the other side. I think you could adjust the spacing a little, still maintain your quantities that you need, and then maybe make that a little more symmetrical, and then add that landscaping and that nose like Pat's talking about.
Yeah, that's a good consideration. At the easement along the frontage of the one kind of offsets our planning a little bit too much. We're a little bit closer on the other side, but maybe if we switched when we have the more ornamental ones on the back side on that row, we could switch the ornamentals with the canopies, and then they could kind of have a similar.
And then slide those back just a little, the spacing. Mm-hmm.
John, I would also suggest you consider how much you're using the little lime hydrangea along the top of the wall. And instead of relying a lot on that, go to your cascading juniper more so.
Okay. Yeah, for a more evergreen.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm going to assume the site is irrigated, right?
I'm going to, yeah.
It's not right now. It's concrete.
It's irrigated when it rains. Okay, and then I'm going to ask my landscaping experts on the design review board. So does the trailing rosemary and the blue Pacific juniper and the red drift rose, does that weep enough, or does that hang down enough to start kind of concealing the wall?
I think it can. It'll never conceal the wall. My plan is always that it all fails. And so that's where the wall, what you guys do to the wall treatment, that sort of thing is tantamount. The rosemary is a Mediterranean plant. If it gets too much water here, it could fail. The juniper, yes, it trails and then it ends, it tends to die out in the middle sometimes. So there's a lot of variables to that. But I think, it all has good potential to drape over the wall and be interesting.
Provide an accent. It won't provide full coverage at any point, but it would be a really nice varied accent along the top, I think, that would kind of spill over in different ways.
Sure.
Yeah.
And in addition to that, it would be key as the site develops and grows in, don't leave it alone. Make sure that the landscape contracting company knows to snip here and there to get dead stuff out of those cascading plants and not let them look brown. The one you may have more challenge with there is the rosemary.
Yeah, sometimes the rosemary can kind of have the undergrowth can kind of die out while the other growth's kind of growing on top of it, kind of make it look a little scraggly, yes.
There was mention of the knee wall, and I'm seeing it on the screen now that's around the building. And just opposite of the pedestrian walkways that comes in. So the knee wall is architect's scope of work, right? But I thought I heard it was in the landscape plan.
Yeah, that would be architecture,
Okay. So that knee wall will match,
the masonry.
okay.
The darker.
And you've got evergreens around it, so that's good.
So we're double dipping there, and just back to the wall real quick, I think Jennifer's right, is we're really only looking for something to kind of soften up the upper part of the wall, or we didn't want to pay all the money and brick the whole wall and have it covered up by plants. Right?
You'll never get those plants to cover up the whole wall.
You might consider sliding that knee wall, the one on the right, out of the window area, because it'll probably come up above.
Yeah, those two units should be in front of the solid wall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure that'll happen.
John, another thought to look at, to consider, is using something like Boston ivy or Virginia creeper that will grow down on that wall and cover it pretty well.
Ooh.
Okay.
No, that stuff will go everywhere. Last but not least, and I'm backing up, are there any bollards at either of the entries to the bank? In other words, to prevent a car from going through those front doors? Is there anything like that? It has nothing to do with landscaping, but it's just...
That's called force protection.
Because I just see a handicap ramp that on the one side. Are there any bollards planned for it?
I have not been showing them.
Okay. And then I guess we're going to still look at, are we going to look at signage? Is that part of this package? No need to?
I think it's in here, but we don't, it's not required.
And the only reason I ask is because banks tend to have a lot of, like, I don't want to call it ground mount directional signage, like this way to the ATM, this way to this, and that sort of thing.
Well, that's.
And I don't know, we've looked at things like that before in banks.
We have, and I try to direct people away from bringing that kind of stuff here and just leave that to me.
Okay.
Because we don't want it branded if it's, and things like that. So I'll look at most of those, and see.
Okay.
And keep it low and where it goes and stuff like that. David and I work on that together.
And last but not least, I never heard an answer on it. Is this site irrigated?
It's not currently irrigated, so
Is the plan to irrigate the site? Is there a note in your drawings that says?
The president just gave a thumbs up.
Okay. Yeah, so that, yes, the site will be irrigated. Good.
All right, very good. Okay, anything else from board members? I will say, what you're doing to this site is 1,000% better than what's there now. So thank you for your patience with us as we ask different questions. So
Okay, just a question for the landscape architects on the board. Any concerns about the Bermuda with all those overstory trees?
Not at first.
Right.
Not initially.
Yeah.
Not for a while.
Okay.
Okay, before we have any motions or anything, I'll ask for, is there any public comment about this application this morning? Any public comment? All right, no public comment. Okay, sounds like we probably need to craft a few motions to work our way through this application.
Are we doing site plan?
Yes.
So we got site plan. Site lighting, elevation of materials, landscaping, and then we're going to do the retaining wall separately.
Or it could be part of site, it gets deferred as that piece. But they can still proceed with the site work and the landscaping.
I think keep it separate.
Separated?
Separated.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay, who's first?
Well, I said start with the site plan. Mr. Chairman, regarding DRB 250033, Georgia Skyline Bank, motion to approve the site plan as presented with the condition that applicant will align the parking lot pedestrian walkway with the handicap ramp. And a motion?
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Swing, a second by Mr. Rowan. Any comments or questions about the motion? There be none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All opposed, no opposition. Motion passes 6-0, okay? That's the site plan.
And we could quickly do site lighting. Mr. Chairman, motion regarding the same applicant to approve the site lighting as presented, and a motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Swing, a second by Mr. Owens. Let's see, just for clarification, we talked about the fixtures on the rear of the building.
I'm assuming that's going to be an elevation.
Okay.
That's building lighting,
Okay,
I thought.
all right, very good. And the same thing goes for the canopy, the
Right.
soffit lighting.
I think that would all be in there. This
Okay.
is mainly the
This-
site lighting and photometrics.
Okay, okay. All right, there being no further questions, I'll call for a vote. All in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All opposed, no opposition, so that motion passes 6-0, okay? 2 down.
You want me to do?
Why don't you do exterior elevations?
Okay, Mr. Chairman, regarding DRB 250033, I'd like to make a motion to approve the elevations and materials with the following conditions. The wall packs that are on the back of the building will be replaced with decorative sconces to match the character of the building with final approval by staff. The downspouts on the front of the building will be eliminated, and the downspouts on the sides of the building will be adjusted to accommodate the extra drainage capacity. The under canopy lighting will be revised to an indirect soffit lighting to wash the underside of the EFIS canopy ceiling in lieu of the fixture SCV. The screen walls for the HVAC units will be adjusted to not conflict with the building windows. And I think that might, is the retaining wall going to be part of this motion, the deferral?
We're going to
Okay.
do separate for that. Yeah.
Got it. And a motion.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Rowan, a second by Mr. Swing. All right, any questions or comments about the motion?
Did you want to include anything about the drive-through columns, or just leaving that as a
I
suggestion?
think we could leave it as a suggestion. They're probably going to do it anyway.
Okay, all right.
It's a little subjective.
Okay, any other questions, comments about the motion? There be none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All opposed, no opposition, and that motion passes 6-0. All right. Okay, we've got landscaping, and then we've got the wall.
All right, Mr. Chairman, regarding DRB 250033, Georgia Skyline Bank, motion to defer the retaining wall enhancement and railing decision, and the motion.
Second.
Okay, let's see. I have a motion by Mr. Swing. I heard 2 seconds. I'll go with Mr. Corkle on the second. Did you? Pat, did you? Okay. Only because you're on my right side. How about that? Second by Mr. Corkle. Any comments or questions about the motion? There be none, I'll call for a vote. All in favor of the motion, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All opposed, no opposition. Motion passes 6-0. Okay? All right, landscaping.
All right, Mr. Chairman, regarding DRB 25033 Georgia Skyline Bank, I'd like to make a motion to approve the application or the landscape as presented with the following conditions. To fill in the landscape at the corner of Mansell Road and Old Roswell Road at the front side or roadside of the bioretention pond. To consider respacing the Princeton elms along Mansell Road to be more symmetrical with the willow oaks along Old Roswell Road. And to consider adding more evergreen at the top of the wall in addition to the other plants that are spilling over, possibly to consider more juniper or a different evergreen plant to spill over the wall. End of motion.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mrs. Sprayberry, a second by Mr. Owens. Any comments or questions about the motion?
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to offer a friendly amendment that the landscaping will be irrigated.
Okay. All right, we have a friendly amendment to irrigate the site or irrigate the landscaping. Ms. Sprayberry, do you accept the friendly
Yes,
amendment?
I
Yes.
accept.
And then Mr. Owens, since you seconded the motion, do you accept the, okay? All right, friendly amendment has been accepted. Any other comments or questions about the motion? All right, there being none, I'll call for a vote, and a vote for the motion with that it contains a friendly amendment. So all in favor of the motion with friendly amendment, please raise your hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All opposed, no opposition. Okay, motion with friendly amendment passes 6-0. All right. Whew. Thank you. Well done. Appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, it's going to look much better than it is now, so. Okay,
Now we got-
our next meeting is October 17th. So that may be a little bit longer meeting than today's meeting. Just come prepared. Anyway, thank you for your time this morning, and with no further no more applications and no further objections from board members, this meeting is hereby adjourned. Thank you.
That last one, that was Richard, the second.
Yes. Mhm. Okay.